Hi students, hi friends. Today we will discuss the top 20 interview questions which I have selected from the subject Manufacturing Science and Technology. These questions are very much important from the interview point of view. You should go through this one and definitely a good knowledge you will get, and that is included of your basic manufacturing processes, machining science and technology, and also physical metallurgy. So let us start with these questions. The first question comes, question number 1. Difference between jigs and fixtures. Generally, in case of mass production, similar type of products with a number of products, when we are manufacturing, we are going from jigs and fixtures. There is a basic difference between the jigs and fixtures. When we are using jigs, it guides the tool as well as it supports or fixes the workpiece. But if it is a fixture, the fixture only holds the workpiece, locate the workpiece or fix the workpiece. Fixture does not guide the tool. Question number 2. Difference between production and manufacturing. This is a common question asked as the two terms are similar. What is the difference between production and manufacturing? You can say that production is a very broad term. We are saying crop production, we are also say that mechanical production, we can say that other productions, but manufacturing, that is only related to this machine and productions in case of this engineering fields of application. So production we can define as where the input is given and some amount of output will be get by getting some losses. But manufacturing, we will give the raw materials, and through different manufacturing processes applying different technologies, a goods or a valuable product is getting in the output. Question number 3. Which one is the hardest material on earth? This is an interesting question. Hardest material available. Most of the people we know what is the hardest material available. That is diamond. Naturally, that is available. Diamond is the hardest material available. Nowadays, artificial diamonds are also manufactured. And after diamonds, the most hardest material is the carbide. Carbide, we are generally saying carbide tools, carbide drill bits. These are different from the common tools. These are hard tools. So carbide is the next hardest material. Then you can say HSS, high speed steel. That meaning is that high speed steel meaning is that the carbon percentage is more in with this iron, so that it is high carbon steel or high speed steels we are saying. And if the carbon percentage is go on increases, the material will be more harder. So high speed steel, then it is coming mild steel, which is otherwise also known as low carbon steel. Then also you can say another low carbon steel means the carbon percentage again decreases. So we can say that diamond, carbide, high speed steel, mild steel, low carbon steel. These are the hardest material from descending order. Okay. Next question 4. What is rake angle? Rake angle, this term is used when we are identifying or defining a tool geometry. There are 7 different angles, or you can say 7 different parameters which is defining the tool. Back rake angle, side rake angle, side relief angle, end relief angle, nose radius, etc. etc. And within that one, this rake angle is a very important parameter. Face of this cutting tool and the normal to the cutting direction, that is known as the rake angle, and due to this rake angle this chip flow will be easier. Next question, question number 5. What is heat treatment and why it is done? Heat treatment is a process where without changing the material composition we can able to enhance the material properties. But what is heat treatment? Now heat treatment does not means that only heating. Heat treatment meaning is that to heat the material up to certain temperature. It may be below recrystallization temperature or near to recrystallization temperature, and holding it for some period of time and then cool it. Different types of coolings will be there: sudden cooling, atmospheric cooling, furnace cooling. Different types of coolings will be there, and this complete process, heating, holding and cooling, is known as the heat treatment process. And due to this heat treatment process, material hardness improved, material's machinability improved, the grains are more fine, refined grains you will get, and also you can say that the properties of this material, softening of this material will also be there. Next question we are getting, question number 6, different processes of heat treatment. There are different processes of heat treatment. That meaning is that how you are heating, how you are providing the cooling to this material, how much time you are holding the material at a particular temperature. According to that one, different processes of heat treatment will be there: normalizing, cyaniding, carburizing, case hardening. These are some of these methods of this heat treatment. Spheroidizing also you can say. Question number 7, difference between cast iron and steel. That is a common question asked in every interviews. What is the difference between cast iron and steel? This cast iron and steel can be differentiated with this carbon percentage. When this carbon percentage in iron is more than 2%, it is known as cast iron. But when the carbon percentage in iron is less than 2%, it is coming to steel range. Then it may be low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, high carbon steel, but in all these the carbon percentage is less than 2%. Okay, next question. What is stock material? Stock material, this is a technical word used in this industries. Stock material is the sheet material. You can say the reserved of this sheet material, from where we are taking the sheet materials for stamping, blanking, piercing, embossing, this type of sheet metal operation. And the total material where you have stock, that is known as the stock material. Question number 9, what do you mean by blanking and piercing? These two are sheet metal operations, but very similar. And how you will differentiate between this blanking and piercing? See, sheet metal operation, there is a punch and a die. And when in this sheet metal operation, the cutout material which is coming out from this die, that is known as the blank. But if you want a opening or a hollow in the sheet material, then it is known as piercing. Giving you one example, suppose you are making a washer, not bolt, washer, and washer inside which a hole is there, that is piercing. But after that one you are getting a complete washer, so it will come from this die, and that is the blanking operation. The next question, question number 10, give the expansion of MIG and TIG. This is from the welding. MIG, M-I-G, metal inert gas welding, and TIG, tungsten inert gas welding. The basic difference is that In case of MIG welding, we are using consumable electrodes. The electrodes will consume and it will melted and deposited in the welding. So MIG welding is also known as gas metallic arc welding, GMAW. But if it is TIG welding, tungsten inert gas welding, then here we are using a non-consumable electrode. The electrode is not consumed, so the electrodes are used as the hardest materials like tungsten, carbon we are using. So this is known as gas tungsten arc welding, GTAW. Okay. Next question number 11. What is resistance welding? List out the types of resistance welding. In case of resistance welding, the heat is not carried out by burning the gases or by creating an arc. Here, material is heated to its plastic stage by providing the electrical resistance. The heat is created from the electrical resistance. And there are different types of resistance weldings are there. You can say spot welding, seam welding, projection weldings. So these are some of these types of different resistance weldings. Question number 12. What is the principle involved in EBM? Give its application. EBM, electron beam welding. That is a very advanced process of welding where you can say the heat produced, the high voltage will be supplied and the beam of electrons will be focused to this workpiece, so that the high kinetic energy of these electrons is converted to heat energy and suddenly the material melts and evaporates and welding has been carried out. So here we can say that a very high voltage is used, around 50 kilovolt to 175 kilovolt of voltage is used, but the current is used in milliamperes. Next question number 13. What are the types of flames in gas welding? Definitely in case of oxyacetylene gas welding or oxyhydrogen gas welding, we are producing three types of flames. One is neutral flame, oxidizing flame and reducing or carburizing flames. So in case of neutral flame, we are saying that the oxygen and acetylene, the percentage is around 1:1. And when this oxygen percentage is increased, that means the oxygen is more than that of this acetylene, it is known as oxidizing flame. But when this oxygen percentage decreases than that of this acetylene percentage, then it is known as reducing flame or carburizing flame, because in acetylene improved means more carbon percentage is increased. So that these different types of flames are also used for different applications. Generally, non-ferrous metals we are using in case of these carburizing flames, but in case of oxidizing flames you go for manganese, steel, bronze, etc. Question number 14. Difference between soldering and brazing. This is an important question and every time it is confused what is soldering and brazing. Generally these two processes are used when similar as well as dissimilar metals you want to join. As in case of welding we are only using similar metals, but here similar as well as dissimilar metals can be used. And in case of soldering, a low melting alloy flux is used, low melting alloy, and that is known as solder. And solder is the alloy of tin and lead. That is important. Remember, tin and lead is the alloy, and that is known as the solder. But in case of brazing, a high melting alloy, that flux material is used, and it is known as pelter, and it is a alloy of copper and zinc. So this is the basic difference between soldering and brazing. Question number 14. List out various defects in welding. Generally, whatever may be the precautions we may take, how much we are experienced till then, due to the current voltage setup, due to the raw materials, due to the angle of welding, due to the speed of welding, due to the atmospheric effect, numbers of defects are possible in case of this welding. And these are some of these welding defects are slag inclusion, porosity, undercut, and also you can say blowholes, crack. These are some of these welding defects. Question number 16. What is pattern? This is from casting foundry technology. Pattern is a replica of this final object we are making in case of casting. So pattern may be made of wood, plastic or metals, and as pattern is making the replica of this final product, so how much this pattern is finished, the surface finish, the better size, according to that one also you are getting the final product. So pattern making is very important. Question number 17. What are the pattern making allowances? Whenever we are making the pattern, as this shape is the final product we will get in case of casting. So whatever the pattern size, whether we are getting the same size of casting? No. As in case of casting, we are pouring the liquid material in a very high temperature. So there is material deformation will be there, there is a contraction, shrinkage will be there, and so numbers of different allowances we are providing whenever we are making a pattern, and these are shrinkage allowances, distortion allowances, wrapping allowances, draft allowances. These are some of these allowances. Question number 18. What are the elements in gating system? It is also from casting. Gating system means we should understand that the total path from where the liquid material is coming from the pouring basin to the final mold cavity, the complete total components is known as the gating system. So first of all we are pouring the molten metal in a pouring basin, then it is coming through a sprue, then sprue base well, then a runner, then gate, and last one is the in-gate which is connected to the mold cavity. So all these are coming under the gating system. Then the question number 19. What is core and core print? Core generally we are giving when you want a hollow design or hollow space in the casting. These cores are made of sands, and core print is that if you want projection in the pattern, then that is known as core print. Projection, any letterings, any design, any textures if you want, then that is known as core print. But core, if you want a hollow or hollow space or a hole, then it is core. Question number 20. What is iron carbon equilibrium diagram? This is a very important question. Lots of students are getting doubts in this one, but in briefly if I will define, it is a graphical representation of the phase changes between iron and carbon when this temperature is increased and decreased. What are the phase changes when we are observing? This is known as the iron carbon equilibrium diagram. In x-axis we are taking the carbon percentage, and in the y-axis we are taking the temperatures. Specifically I am saying in this iron carbon equilibrium diagram, up to 6.67% carbon percentage we have preparing the diagram, because after that one the material will be more harder and it is having no use. So in case of iron carbon equilibrium diagram, the x-axis is the carbon percentage, y-axis is the temperature, and carbon up to, you can say, maximum 8% we are adding in this iron carbon equilibrium diagram. For today this much. Hope you have understood, you have got a very good idea. Whatever any queries, please comment in the comment box. Thank you for watching this one. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.